Hello and welcome to Kismet Rising. So today I am doing the monthly Oracle card guidance for February 2025 and I'm using Karten des Lebens from Chuck Spezzano. And so that would be the cards of life. Okay, that's what it translates to. And so you could go ahead and choose options 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go ahead and give the cards a good shuffle and meet you at number 1. So for those of you who've chosen option number 1, we're asking, what do we need to know for the month of February 2025? Okay, so for those of you who've chosen the first option, we have the cards number 37, Shirker, which it means like villain or something like that, like bad boys or a rascal, something like this. We have the number 25, which is Mango, which is some kind of deficiency or feeling not having enough of something, of feeling forsaken on some level as a result. And then we have 55, which is gratitude. And then we have 19, which is control. And the cards are divided in this deck between Dunkle Geschichte or Highlander Geschichte, which is basically dark thoughts or the dark story and the healing story. Okay, so as you enter February, you might find that you either are the villain in your own story, or you are you see someone else, or you see a particular situation as having somebody who's up to no good, somebody who's playing on your insecurities, on something that where you're giving too much of power to someone or to something. So in some ways, when you have this card in your life, on some level, you're feeling like the victim of something that they may do or that they have done. And the card comes up to say, well, look at where it is that you're losing your power to somebody else or something else. And how can you take that back? You need to take that back so that you can feel more in control of your life and not give up so much of energy to these things that represent the rascal or the villain in your life, or the person or people who are bringing darkness into your life. So as you enter February, it's really about being able to take your power back from wherever it is that you're losing it. Are you concerned about world affairs? Are you concerned about politics? Are you concerned about the war that are taking place? And how much of energy are you losing to all of that? What you need to do is withdraw from it all so that you can come into a place of stillness within yourself. And when you're in a place of love and compassion and stillness in yourself, then you are in a healing space. You're healing not just yourself, but those around you. And as a result, the whole organism of this planet changes and is working in accordance with, as opposed to working in opposition with or against. And so I think in the first week, if you are feeling weighed down by something that represents the villain in your life, then it's time to walk away from that and not put more energy behind it, not let it live rent-free in your head, as they would say, and just basically take back those thoughts and go back into yourself and into your state of empowerment, and not lose another bit of energy or another bit of time to that. Okay. As you come into the second week of February, there may be cause for you to feel like you don't have enough of something, or you are missing out on something, or you just don't have enough. Maybe you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough opportunities, or you're feeling like you're feeling impoverished in some way. You're feeling deficient in some way because of the lack of having something that you feel is going to make you feel a lot better than you feel already. Or perhaps it's something that you need that you can't get immediately, and so it leads you to feeling like you're missing something from your life, that you need something that you can't have. And the way to work with this is, well, it's very hard when you are in that situation to feel like you are you can't just gloss over it. You obviously have a need for something that you don't have right now, and that doesn't seem to be in your mind. It doesn't seem to be a way for you to be able to have that. But nevertheless, you have to be able to overcome those feelings and understand that you are not your deficiency. You are not your poverty. You are not inflation. You are not represented by and valued by the economy. You have your own worth, and you have your own well-being, and you just need to take care of that. And if you can take care of all the other things that you have right now where you don't feel deficient, then you are going to be okay, and you'll be able to come through the next phase. And the next phase here is the third week of February. It's the card of gratitude, thankfulness. And as always, when you are feeling grateful, you are shining, you are glowing, you are bringing goodness upon yourself. You are bringing goodness not just to yourself, but to others around you. Everyone, every single person in this world is affected by the way you feel and how you feel. And if you feel thankful, you are benefiting us all. And so this is the third week of February. It's going to be easier for you to feel that gratitude. It's going to be easier for you to be able to lay, in the basking in that gratitude. And I think that the feeling of not having enough here, or being at the disposal of some kind of villain here, is actually going to be gone, and you're going to be able to come fully into your gratitude. And I think especially in the second week of February, you really need to have some of this energy, or to be working towards this energy here of gratitude. And as we come into the last week of February, the card is controller, which is control basically, and just being managed by others, or feeling manipulated by others, feeling like you are made to, you've lost your own will, you've lost your autonomy, and that you are being regulated, maybe by the state, or by whatever, your community, by your parents, by your partner, something, your employers. Something is making you feel like you have to perform actions that are not authentically you, and that don't come from your soul, and that you're just made to go through these automatic motions as if you were a robot, but you know that it's not your will. And as you come into the last week of February, you're going to need to be able to come beyond this feeling, and to be able to come back into a space in yourself where you know that you are the one who wields the power in your life, and you are the one who is making your decisions. And even if you find yourself in a state and in a space where you cannot change your circumstances right now, and you feel disempowered because of it, as a result of it, you need to understand that this too shall pass. And that is how it is right now. And if you have the intention to move out from that space that is causing you to feel this way, then that is all that matters. that light still lives within you and glows within you. And that part of you that is your soul and that is your light, basically, and your spirit is still inside of you. And you just need to nurture that. And sometimes it may feel like that light is going out. And it's then that we need to nurture it even more than before. And gravitate away from feeling and thinking about yourself in these terms where you feel like you're being controlled, where you feel like you don't have enough, where you feel like you are the victim of a villain or some kind of dark force, perhaps, or some kind of trickster, somebody who's lying or trying to control you. So try to gravitate away from feeling this and coming back into your power, I think. And I think this whole month, it's very much about that. It's about feeling who you are again, about rekindling your spirit and just looking after that fire that's inside of you, and understanding that your worth does not come from what you have, and it does not come from how you see others or others see you, or you project upon others that they see you. And it doesn't come from what others make you do or you are made to do as a result of the wishes of others. You are a sum of your gratitude and a sum of your own light that exists within you. And that is what you need to nurture to be able to bring forth into the month of March. And I think that if you are struggling a little bit with that in February, don't worry about it. It's part of the course. But some of you, I feel like most of you won't be struggling. I feel like most of you will go through February with just perhaps a tinge of this. And and you will be able to overcome it quickly. And I think that if you are able to each week, and the first week, the second and third and fourth week, you are able to make a goal of for yourself, like perhaps an affirmation or journaling or something, whatever you like to do. If you could talk about, you being in control of your life and you not being afraid because of whatever else is happening externally to you. And then you talk, in the second week, you talk to yourself more about how full you are and how much you have already that you can be grateful for. And the third week, you basically bask in that gratefulness and you just, take it to the next level of prayer and gratitude. And in the fourth week, you're more aware of what are you doing to rekindle your spirit, and rather than to let others perhaps tell you what to do or to be manipulated by others, and just to make that the focus. I think that you will come out of February with quite a lot of ease, and it will be a good month for you. All right, so I'm wishing you all the best for the month of February. May it be a blessed month, and may you have many good things in your life. May you be protected and well. Blessings abound from Kismet Rising. And for those of you who've chosen the option number 2, we're asking, what do we need to know for the month of February 2025? What is our oracle card guidance? And for those of you who've chosen the option number 2, we have the cards Angel for you, which is number 58, Freedom, which is peace, number 67, the card Rebel, which is number 34, and number 9, which is falsche Geisteshaltung. Okay, which is wrong mindset. And Geist meaning spirit. So a false behavior of the spirit, or a false attitude or spirit attitude. Okay, so let's go into this. As you start the month of February, there is this amazing feeling of being held, of being protected, of being walked with by the angels. And I think that throughout the month of February, you have an amazing month because you don't have that many challenges. Yeah, you have these healing stories here, and you have a bit of the darker stories here, but you have the card of the angel, you have the card of peace. So you'll be, in the first 2 weeks of February, you will be experiencing peace. You will be feeling like you're held. And I think that if you stay in the state of prayer, or if you ask for help, you will receive it. And that is all you need to know. I think that if you can maintain this during the first week of February, you're on a path to going to something much greater. Because the second half of February, I mean, just kind of is like a test for what you've done or what you've been able to accomplish in the first week of February. And I feel for many of you, this is going to come in without any work, because you have done the work already for a long time. And you're suddenly going to find yourself in a space of zen, a space of peace, knowing that you're held, knowing that you're looked after, knowing that you're going to be okay regardless of what else is going on. But when you come into the third week of February, there's some kind of something that makes you feel rebellious. It's something that pulls you out of your state of peace and makes you want to fight for something. It makes you want to stand up for something. It makes you want to speak because perhaps there's some injustice, or perhaps you just don't agree with what's happening and you feel the need to speak up about it because you need to stand up for yourself. And this in itself is a really good attribute. But it comes here as they say, as a dark story. The reason being is that it disrupts your peace and it disrupts your equilibrium to some extent. And as you go into the last week of February, you have the card of the wrong mindset, or just not being able to. Perhaps you're very caught up with what's been going on in the third week of February, and you are feeling still quite rebellious, and this is taking over your state of zen. And what it's suggesting to you, what the card suggests here, is that you come away from feeling upset, move away from that. From if you're feeling upset in a particular area of your life, just pour love into that. Pour love and prayer into that. And that in itself will help you feel more compassionate. And will help you move away from the pain that it's causing you and the anger that it's causing you. Sometimes when we get upset or angry about something, we feel the need to stay in that vibration for far too long. It's important to be angry. It's important to express yourself. It's important to stand up for what is unjust. For justice, and to work against what is injustice. But here, if we stay too long in that state, we are robbing ourselves of the peace that we have, that we've been able to create with the help of the divine, as well as with the help of ourselves and the progress that we've made. And it's almost like you are going backward because you have dismantled your peace. And so the last card here is basically saying that whatever's made you angry in the third week, whatever's upset you, yes, it's normal to be upset, and one feels that one needs to fight sometimes. But rein yourself back, because if you don't, what's going to happen is that those dark thoughts, those thoughts that are pulling you away from your peace, is actually going to embed itself in you, and it's going to take root in you, and it's going to grow in you. Or at least it has the potential to grow in you. So rather than letting that rebellious streak get the better of you, acknowledge that you need to do something. Acknowledge that you need to fight for something. Acknowledge that you're angry about something. Acknowledge all of the feelings that have broken you from your peace. and understand them and separate them from your peace, separate them from your spirit, so that you can understand and have a respectful feeling of disagreement, but at the same time be able to hold your peace and hold yourself in a state of equilibrium. So depending on what you do here in the week 3, you may not even need to do anything in week 4, but it could be that you still need to cleanse yourself from whatever's happening here, or bring yourself rather to a state of equilibrium. Cleansing yourself, I'm not sure if that's the correct word, because it gives the impression that it's something dirty, but it's not. It's actually just simply that you're going through life and you're experiencing different things and you're reacting to different things. And in doing so, you will experience a change in your vibrational state. And as you do so, you will sometimes move away from your peace. And then it's just up to you. You have the responsibility to move yourself back to that space of peace. So I think that February is really a great month for you to experience the divine power of support that you have in your life, as well as the peace that you are able to create within yourself. And then the idea is just, how do you maintain that while in choppy waters? How do you maintain your composure when things are not as you would like them to be, when circumstances are not ideal? And I don't think it's anything too serious, but I do think that you will be able to easily come back to the state of peace. And it's nothing negative as such, okay? It's just, there's a wrong mindset here, and you need to shift that, okay? And you'll know when the time is right to shift that, when you've had too much of that wrong mindset, and you realize, okay, well, this is robbing me from my life, and I have to go back to being the happy, calm, peaceful person that I was. Okay. So anyway, that's your month of February according to these cards. I wish you all a fabulous month, and may you have a blessed time. Blessings abound from Kismet Rising. And for those of you who've chosen the third option, we're asking, what is our oracle card guidance for the month of February 2025? And for those of you who've chosen the third option, we have the cards here for you for February. And the first card is Verzauberung, which is enchantment. And it's a healing story. It's the number 96, which is here, which is how you'll start your month, with this enchantment, with this amazing feeling of being able to, that your world is magical and that things can be so much nicer as you desire them to be, and that possibilities are endless, and that there's a world in which you can escape to, which is just yours, in which you can create all the wonderful things you desire in a land where people or beings or animals are all in favor of you and support you. And so you start off February with this amazing feeling of being enchanted or having the access to enchantment. And then as you head out of the first week of February, there's the card number 8, which is etwas Besonderes sein wollen, which is wanting to be something special. And I think what happens here is, even though you have this enchantment around you in the first week of February, you set certain goals for yourself, which are perhaps out of your reach, or perhaps unreasonable in some respects. And as a result of that, it's not the problem. The goals are not the problem. But as a result of that, there's a feeling of insecurity. There's a feeling of not being good enough. There's a feeling of never being able to be good enough. And so from here, you come from this absolute state of positivity and being able, believing in yourself, and just letting go and allowing the magic to encapsulate you. But here, it's like you start thinking about it. You start rationalizing it, and you start thinking, well, no, I could never be that, or I don't know, but I want to be that. And you start to perhaps develop negative thoughts, which leads you to disliking, or the card here is 14. It's called Hass, and it means hate. It brings you into a state of loneliness, because you don't trust others anymore. You're not able to trust others because you want to be something special, but you are lying to yourself about what it is that you want to be. Because what you've not understood here, and what I advise you to think about as you go into the second week of February, is how special you truly are, and how especially unique you are, and how what you have to offer is what the world needs in its entirety, and it's only you who can provide that. And if you can understand that and be in that space, then you won't fall, and you won't find yourself feeling that this is a goal that's out of your reach, because you will understand and you'll be able to appreciate yourself as you are, like you are here, without having to feel like you have some kind of imposter syndrome or something like this. Well, no, and tell yourself, well, no, it's not possible. I can't be that person because this is not me, or I don't have the power to. Because here you know that the power has been endowed upon you, and it is yours. Because all you're doing here is that you're thinking too much about it. Okay, so as you go into the second week of February, the idea is to value yourself and to understand yourself and to value your authentic self, more so now than ever. And to be able to truly stand in the face of this other side of you, the ego, which will tell you, no, you can do better. No, you can do better than them. Or, no, you have to do better than them, so that you can show them that. And perhaps you don't have any of these thoughts at all, but there's something that's drawing you away from the peace and the enchantment that you've had here, the magic that you've had here. Perhaps it wasn't peace necessarily, but there was certainly a degree of excitement about what is, a degree of awe. And you've lost that childlike quality and come into something in the second week of February where you've tried to be too serious. And so the idea is to try to get back some of the qualities that you had of the first week of February, or try to prolong that. And now that I've given you this reading, perhaps you can change all of that, because nothing is set in stone. And as you go into the third week, if you haven't resolved this here, then it will turn into you becoming quite isolated and hating others, because what you want to show them is this version of you, but what you truly are is that version of you. And somehow you think that this version of you is not good enough. So instead what you do is you isolate yourself from them, so that they don't really know who you truly are. And they can't actually come close to you to give you the love that you need, which is a balm that you need to be able to heal yourself now. And so you come to hate, but that is not an emotion that's yours. It's something that you feel towards yourself, but it's not, but you think you feel it towards other people. Because you have to love yourself. And so far the theme of February is very much about loving yourself, about valuing yourself, about being your true authentic self without apology, and about being in awe with all the enchantment that there is in your life, so that you don't come to a state like this. This is basically showing you your shadow version. And this is the recovery of it, if you've been through all of this. And I truly hope that you don't go through any of this in February. It's not a terrible thing. We all go through these things at times, where we doubt ourselves, where we retreat because we feel that others will not understand us, because we are afraid that they will see our doubt. But if you manage to skip all of this and maintain the enchantment the whole way, then I think you won't come onto the fourth week with this energy. But the energy that's showing on the fourth week of February is that of the magician, or not really a magician, it's more like a villain actually. It's about this bad boys, it's about a rascal, it's about somebody or some kind of energy which seeks to undermine you. And this is often a projection. It's projection. And it could be in this case that you are the one who's doing the projection. You're projecting this on others because you're trying to protect yourself. You know, the way in which this kind of scenario plays out is, let's say you have this wonderful idea and you tell somebody about it and they laugh at you about it, or they tell you that you're crazy or you're silly because of it. And then you prove them wrong. And as you struggle to do that, you start to hate them and yourself for not being able to do it. And so then you lie here about what you can and cannot do. And you do it by force. This grace is lost. Your spirit is lost. You're simply on an ego mission to show them what it is that you are capable of. And that is what this card energy is giving me right now in this context. But I think what you can do and how you can circumvent all of this is that you can maintain the enchantment as you go through the week. And as you come up with these thoughts, you could think about how wonderful and how amazing and how special you are, rather than how you could be. And instead of pushing people away, you can bring them into your life, into the third week of February. And instead of being the villain in the storyline, this is where your villain arc begins. But instead of being the villain in this story, you can go back to being the innocent. And if you cannot be the innocent, then be a version of yourself that's not scary to yourself or to others. And I think that that's very possible and very much within your ambit, because this is who you truly are. You are a wonderful person who has very beautiful qualities. And you are, like we all are, the sum of our fears, the sum of our memories, our childhood experiences, our relationships, and everything else that's happened to us. And we can either choose to nurture the good things in our lives and remember the good things, or we can choose to stew into those things that hurt us and caused us pain and stay within that. We can choose to remember that, or we can choose to remember the enchantment that we have here. And so it's up to you to decide which path you're going to take. Sometimes it's not easy, and you find yourself down a path of negativity here, and you can't extract yourself from it. But if you find yourself there, just know that this too shall pass, and give yourself the nurturing and the love that you need. Because what this set of cards tells me is that more than anything, you need to believe in yourself, and you need to trust yourself, and you need to love yourself more, and you need to be kinder to yourself, so that you can actually make the difference that you know you are here to make. All right? And so that you don't have to go down this path. And if you are going down this path, just pull yourself back and give yourself the love that you need. All right? I'm going to leave you there. I wish you a fabulously healing and successful February. Okay? Be safe especially from your own thoughts. And be kind to yourself. Blessings abound from Kismet Rising.